Hi everyone. Today we're gonna use Google Gemini to work on visual infographics. So you have few options usually when you want to create something visual in terms of presentation or content that you'd like to share online. You can use canva.com, of course. You can use PowerPoints or Google presentation, but also you can leverage Gemini to really produce that content and then customize it to your taste in a step-by-step approach. And this is what we are going to use. So of course, it's going to be over gemini.google.com. You have your UI to prompt it, and this is gonna start directly with the prompt you can give it, either with the proper instruction and you have already the content you'd like to present in a visual way, or it could be a step-by-step with a number of iterations. So we're gonna start with a very simple prompt, which is, can you create a visual infographic listing all key Google Gemini models and their most appropriate use cases? But before we hit the submit button to run this, we are going to switch to the canvas option here, as you can see. So canvas is the mode where we're gonna have basically an HTML rendering of that request, and we can launch it right away. So in this case in particular, I'm using the 2.5 Pro. You can also use the 2.5 Flash, which is faster and all around. And as you can see here, we start seeing the HTML code being built based on the research and the data it's being gathered. And this is where we're gonna move from the code section to the preview section once it is finished to see the final result as it is represented through those instructions, where basically we have this visual rendering in just like a few seconds. So we can see here we have a header with a title, we have a subtitle, and then we have Gemini 2.5 Pro, the most advanced. You can see we have different colors for each model. We have Nano, 2.5 Flash, and 2.5 Pro. And this is very simple. We can, of course, add other models, add more content, etc. But this is just one line, one shot type of prompt. So we have the name of the model, we have a tag, we have a small description, best for complex reasoning, advanced coding, large scale data, and we have some nice effects. You can see with the movement here, we have some shadows, which is really visually appealing. And this is something you can then either share or download as a PDF, etc. So let's say I'm happy with this result, but I need some tweaks. One of them is, for example, using a different color palette. So I'm on colors.co, and this is a website where you can pick a set of colors for your build. So one of the things that gives you inspiration is to see what others are doing. And let's say, for example, this summer ocean breeze is something I would like to work with. And I have the possibility to copy basically this as a code. So basically it's the code of these 5 colors that we're gonna use back into Gemini, which is basically my next prompt: update the styling and the color palette with the following. And I'm gonna paste my 5 colors, the red Pantone, the honeydew, etc. And I'm gonna submit that. So once it's taken that, it's gonna start applying these updates in terms of color and styling. And that would be an immediate version after the first iteration. So after a few seconds, once we have the color updates, we can think of additional updates, and I'm already seeing one, which is the font style or the font type. So that is a third iteration we can use to make it more visually appealing, to replace the standard font that Google Gemini is using in these infographics, and basically pick one to match our own style. And I'm gonna walk you through that. So there you go. We have the new color palette here. You can see the change basically on a before and after. You can have the previous versioning here. You can have the basically all of your files that have been created in there. And now moving to the change of the fonts, we are going to use the public library of fonts.google.com, which is Google Fonts. And I like, for example, the mono style of fonts, the monospaced, and maybe, for example, Roboto Mono, or we can pick another one, for example, JetBrains. I like this JetBrains, so all I need is the name of this one, JetBrains Mono. I'm gonna go back to Google Gemini and ask it to, can you update the font to use JetBrains Mono across the full infographic. There you go. So we have three iterations. The first one is basically the out-of-the-box basic prompt. The second one is the color palette. And the third one, as you can see right now, is the font style. We keep everything as is. We can then move to more advanced input. For example, here, can you adjust the background to use a dark mode instead? For example, this is a very simple instruction, and basically you do this one step at a time and adjust whatever you feel is more appropriate for your content. It could be, for example, the layout. Instead of having one box after the other, you would like to align them one next to the other. That is something you can also instruct it without you basically spending time on the code itself, or the copy and paste and the layout design, etc. You just basically in natural language provide that input. Now, once we have this, maybe we don't like the color, we can just go back to the previous version, and that's where you have basically your code. Or you can basically add certain Gemini feature directly from here, or select and ask. For example, in this case, let's say I would like to select this part, and I'm gonna ask Gemini, can you highlight this title? And that modification will be applied specifically to this Gemini 2.5 Pro title, which is a very subtle change, where you can have it directly, as you can see here, being completely highlighted in a very subtle way. So this is a very simple approach on how to leverage Google Gemini to build nice infographics that then you can share online, reuse, publish, print as PDFs, and share it as final documents for a more impactful visual appeal. So hope this helpful, and see you in the next video.